this is the Turkish get up. It will be the most complex movement by far, and it's also a whole full body exercise, full body workout on its own. You know, this was created by a group of Turkish wrestlers. And when they're training, they were thinking, if there was only one exercise that we would do that would improve our performance as a whole, what would this exercise look like? So they created this exercise that trains your whole body. And you do one side and then the other side. And I will show you what this exercise looks like. And then we're going to break it down into these small steps. Because there's more or less 9 steps to complete this exercise, all the way up and then all the way down. So it looks more or less like this. You start laying on the floor with a dumbbell. And the steps, when they go one after the other, they look like this. So this is one repetition of the Turkish get up from one side of the body. So I want to do maybe 5 or 10 repetitions from one side, and then change and do 5 or 10 repetitions from the other side. There's a lot of things going on here. There is shoulders, there is arms, there is legs, there is core. There's a bunch of things happening at the same time. So let's break them down into smaller steps. The first step of the Turkish get up is that you start in a fetal position here and holding a dumbbell or a kettlebell. You're going to see a lot of people doing this with kettlebell as well, but it's exactly the same movement. And then you're going to roll on your back. Once you roll on your back, if I am rolling to the left, that means that my right hand or my right side is the one that is working. And so I'm rolling to the left, I'm keeping the dumbbell on my right hand. Now, left leg is straight, right leg is bent, so the leg that has the same size of the same side of the dumbbell is bent more or less at 45 degrees. So it's not here, it's not here, it's more or less in the middle. Same for this arm. This arm is straight on the ground, more or less 45 degrees. So it's not here on the side, it's also not here, it's more or less over here. And then I push the dumbbell all the way up with my arms straight. Here is my initial position. So rolling here was a prep. Here is the initial position of the Turkish get up. So this is the first movement. It's just rolling on top of my left shoulder. So I'm going to push through my right leg and use my core only to lift my right shoulder from the ground and roll on top of my left one. So this subtle movement is the first step of the Turkish get up. So once I'm done with the first step, now I am going to roll on my elbow. So now I'm going to push further with this leg and use more of my core muscles and bring myself to my left elbow. I want to make sure that my shoulder blades are also engaged, that I'm not sogging the movement here, but my shoulder blades are engaged, and I'm always looking at the dumbbell on top. This is the second. So from here to here. Now the third step is having my left arm straight. So now I'm pushing with my triceps, with my left triceps. My shoulder blades are engaged and my left arm is straight. This is the third step. The fourth step is a hip hinge or an elevation. So now I am bringing my hip all the way up. My arms are straight, my hips are straight, I'm looking at the dumbbell. Now my next step here is going to be bring my knees just underneath my hips. So now I have more balance and more of my legs also supporting my body weight. This is the fifth step. And the sixth is to stand on my knees. So I let go of my arms, and now from here I lunge all the way up. This is the top of the Turkish get-up. You see that my arms are not bent. They are all the way straight. The elbows are locked. I'm looking at the dumbbell. Now I'm going to do the very same sequence of steps on the way back. So first I'm going to lunge, and I'll do this very slow because I need to have control of this movement. Then I'll turn my foot, and I reach with my arms straight. Now I will bring my left foot all the way to the front and lift my hips. From here, I sit on the floor with my left arm straight. Then I bring my elbows to the floor, bring my left shoulder to the floor, right shoulder to the floor. This is 1 repetition. From here, let's do it again. My second repetition will start with this movement, then on the elbow, arms straight, hips up, knees underneath, kneeling on the floor, lunging up. Now, lunging down, turn my foot, reach for the arm, bring my foot forward, hip up, sit on the floor, elbow on the floor, left shoulder on the floor, right shoulder on the floor. And I'm going to do this maybe 5 times, maybe 10 times. There will be a time that it will feel very hard, especially depending on the weight of this dumbbell, that I can no longer hold and my shoulder is getting very tired. This is when I can no longer do this with great technique or hold my arms straight. This is when I stop, I come back to this position, and I will bring the dumbbell to the other side and do my left side of the Turkish get-up as well. A couple of things that we want to keep in mind. The most important thing with the Turkish get-up is not to rush this movement. And by not rushing, I mean 2 things. 1, don't rush to increase the weight of this exercise. Start only doing with your arms up, and maybe hold a water bottle. Something that gives you some resistance, but for you to learn the movement. Don't rush until you put like 10 kilos. This is not supposed to be a super heavy movement. And second, don't rush through the steps. Your goal is not to get up very fast and then get down very fast. It's actually the opposite. The slower you do this movement, the stronger you're going to get. Because, for example, there is one, let's imagine that I am here. There is one way of me using my momentum from this position all the way here. You see, I can use a lot of momentum. I can use my head, I can throw my shoulder and bring myself up here with some level of effort. If I do this slowly, the amount of effort will be a lot higher, and I will need to use all the different muscles that are involved in this series of steps. So here I am using a lot of my abs and my legs that are not working if I just jerk and rush the movement. And so if I do this slowly, if I can go back and forth, I know that I'm having control in this movement. And I know that my abs are working and my legs are working. And then from here, I'm only going to roll to my elbow. And if I do this slowly, I can feel my shoulder blades working and my abs working. If I do this movement fast, there is no ab work here. There's no shoulder blades work here. If I do this very slowly, it gets much harder, and the muscles that are supposed to work are going to work. And the same thing goes from when I'm lunging. From this position over here, I want to be able to move to this lunge very slowly. Instead of pushing with my arms like this, what if I use my abs to get myself kneeling straight up. The same will hold from when I'm coming back. One way of coming back is this way, letting my weight just fall. The second way of coming back is doing this slowly, as if I was doing some Tai Chi here. Now I am contracting much more and I'm controlling my entire body. Here, I pause in the middle, see if I have the control. Now I go all the way back and do this very slowly without just letting my weight fall, but slowly controlling my entire body. So if you're not rushing the Turkish get-up, either with the weights, but also with the pace of the exercise, this is when you're going to see how wonderful this exercise is and how come you have never done this before. This will be one of the most fun exercises to work on as well, because it's helping you develop a lot of awareness of your body, a lot of proprioception, because you are doing all these movements, but you're only looking up. So you need to know here, if I am looking up and I'm lifting this way, I need to know where my hands are and where my legs are, especially if I am coming back. If I am coming back from this position, I am not looking to the ground to see where my hands go. I'm actually looking at my hand on top here. So I need to have the proprioception feeling, to see where my hips are in space, where my knees are in space. Where do this hand need to go? Does it need to go here? Does it need to go here? Does it need to go here? I'll be able to feel that position and develop a lot more awareness of my own body. This is the Turkish get-up. Have fun training with it.